We get a lot of questions from users that can I share a scenario with someone where they don't have to log in? Can I limit the number of time or duration that someone has access to the scenario? Can I limit the number of attempt? And at the core of all of this is the question that they want to manage scenario as a resource, which is a scarce resource and the usage of which we charge and how to control it. And there are four ways you control a scenario. The first one is the permission. So any scenario that you create on ToughTongue AI, you control that who get access to it. For example, this particular scenario, and I go to the manage access, there are three ways, three level of permissions here. One is that interact and view. So these people can only view their own session in the scenario. Interact and view all sessions. So this one is someone like an auditor who want to audit all the sessions but cannot change the prompt or the behavior of the scenario. And the third one is interact, edit, and view. This is someone who is co-creating the scenario with you and you want them to change the prompt as well. Now, whoever you share the access with, they can access this scenario and they can you can apply these permissions level. So that's one way of controlling like who exactly gets access to. But the second lever is that when you're part of an org, for example, if I go to this particular org, then you have this option of sharing the scenario with people inside the org. So I go to manage access, then I have an option that do I want everyone in this org to interact, edit, and view all session. Now, this is good if you have a very close-knit or all are developer and co-creator. In that case, you do that. While let's say you have students and a teacher relationship, in that case, you want everyone else to just have interact and view their own session because you don't want one student to see other student session. Similarly for sales team and coaching like that, while interact, edit, and view all session is for people who want to co-create it together. So you can invite via email in that case. So this controls the permissions on who can access, edit, and watch the scenario. The second lever is that how do you share these scenarios? Now, of course, there is a way that you can deploy our scenario through iframe, through Google Meet, through phone, but just directly via link also there is a lot of control. For example, if I go to this scenario and I go to share and generate link, then I can create a scenario for one-time access only. I can also create that whether I want 7 days access or 24-hour access. After that, this link will expire. Then do I want to prompt user for name and email when I share this link? I could also check like whether I want a pre-check screen or not. Now there is also an aspect that when you are sharing this scenario, you could control that how much time, how many attempts you want to give people access to. Do you want to limit the access to this via email? Do you want to do it 3 times, 10 times, 5 times? So in this case, what happens is that let's say there is a network disruption. So for the case of network disruptions, we do not count that as a successful attempt. When only for the successful attempt, we count as one attempt. For example, let's say you are conducting interview, then you want to give one fair shot to the interview. In many cases, people I have seen want to give 3 shots at interviews. In that case, you want to make it 3. And you don't want to count failed attempt when network broke and things like that. So that is how when sharing link you could control. There is also an option to enable passcode-based access. So in that case, you can put a passcode to a scenario and only allow access to someone who has access to that passcode through the same link. So all of these provides you a lot of permutation and combination in sharing the link with others when you are using our platform to distribute the scenario. The third option is the count, which I already highlighted, is that you control through this the number of attempts someone gets access to for your ToughTongue scenario. The fourth and the final is time, which is the duration. So when creating the scenario, you can go to the strategy, conversation strategy, and you can set a maximum duration of this scenario. So this scenario, for example, will close at 720 seconds. You can also pass a message, a time triggered message at certain time and say that close the scenario now, wrap up or start wrapping up, things like that. So that's another way to control overall duration that your scenario would stop. If you are inside an org, then you can also assign certain number of minutes to particular individual and they get access to only that many minutes of usage. So these are the ways in which you can control the scenario as a resource on ToughTongue AI. Let me know your questions. Happy to answer those. Thank you so much.